Today I'm going to show you how to make pan de muertos, which is a very important bread that accompanies the altars for Dia de los Muertos. It's from the allrecipes.com recipe that's provided. Assemble your ingredients. You need a 1/4 cup of melted margarine, a 1/4 cup of milk, a 1/4 cup of warm water. Warm is defined as being about 110 degrees, 3 cups of flour, 1 1/4 teaspoon active dry yeast, a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 2 teaspoons anise, a 1/4 cup of sugar, 2 large eggs, and 2 teaspoons orange zest. We're going to start by putting about 1 cup of our 3 cups of flour in the bottom of the mixing bowl. In with that, we are going to combine our yeast, salt, a 1/4 cup of sugar, and the anise. This is a mixture of water, milk, and margarine, cooled now to 110 degrees. We're going to pour that liquid in. When you poke the dough, you should see it start to rise back up, and that's when you know that it's ready to go in for its first rise. So you have your mixture here. Put it roughly in a ball. You can spray just the sides of the pan with a little bit of nonstick spray. You're going to cover it with a dry, clean cloth and put it in a warm room for 2 hours so it can have its first rise. So we'll see you after that rise. Okay, 1.5 hours to 2 has passed. We get to do one of my favorite parts, which is to punch it. You take your dough out of your bowl, and as you start to shape it in a ball, you're going to cut off a small section. And we'll use that in a minute. So just manipulate the rest of your dough till you have a nice little dome. This way you have a nice decorative finish when it has risen again and you bake it. Take a cookie sheet with some parchment paper on it. Carefully lift your dough. Make sure that the ends of your crisscross sections are sort of tucked under. And we're going to cover it again, put it back in that warm room for another hour or so. See you in a little while. Okay, we've let it rise for another hour or so, and we have the pretty decoration on top. I normally set this in a cold oven, then turn it on to 350, let it come up to temp and bake it from there, simply because that gives it one more chance to rise a little bit more. So once you have that baked, you need to make your glaze. ready and your bread is warm from the oven, simply spread the glaze all over the bread. It's very thick, but try to get it everywhere. Once you have all of your glaze, you sprinkle sugar over the top, then let it sit and you have your pan de muertos.